Good morning, everybody, or afternoon whenever you're watching this. This is Pastor Patti with your Wednesday check in. I hope you're all doing well. It seems like ages since I've seen you. This Sunday when Pastor Nate started his message, he said, This is a message that nobody really wants to preach on. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I've got to reflect on it for our congregation and our community. And I thought, man, he's right. So I spent a lot of time the past few days. I had a lot of time with the snow. Hope you're all safe and warm. And the one of the biggest things that jumped out at me personally was when Pastor Nate made the comment that so often we hear these words. We should put Christ back in Christmas, or we should put Christ back in something. I think I've been guilty of saying, well, everybody says there was never prayer in school. They took it out, but prayer's always been there. And, you know, I think we don't always have to say it like that. I think we need to look at the bigger picture. For those of you that don't know, I'm a retired Red Lion teacher, very proud of my time at Red Lion. But through my time there, we went through a lot of trials and a lot of trauma together. We had the murder of one of our principals. We had the machete attack at one of our elementary schools. In my personal career, I've had multiple children that I had who, as young adults, committed suicide. And though it's terrible and traumatic, the one thing I've learned from this is we didn't have to tell people that Christ was with us. We didn't have to tell people that, oh, I brought prayer to school, because we showed it. We showed it by how we conquered those traumas and those tragedies. And we didn't do it by ourselves. We did it with others around us. So I think as we're reflecting this week on just what does it mean to be a Christian, we need to remember that in our gospel lesson from Sunday, the unclean spirit, when he left that guy's body with Jesus talking, he left in a church. That's where he was. So maybe we need to remember that we need to put Christ and keep Christ in every part of our world, whether it be from reflecting back to my past, how we talked with the children and parents. Nobody stood up and said, I'm a Christian. Let me tell you how it works. We showed love and compassion. Whether it's looking out at our community right now, and whether we get a vaccine or we don't get a vaccine, how do we handle life? We don't have to say, I'm a Christian. Let me tell you how. We should be able to show it. Yesterday, even though we were sort of snowed in, I had this awesome opportunity to be on two different Zoom calls, one with our local ministerium and one with pastors from LCMC in our area and our new service coordinator. And they were both really awesome times. As a ministerium, we decided that we were continuing on with our Lenten service for a community, but in a different way. I think that is going to open us up as a community and not just reach those who can attend, but it's going to be out there, a service of hope, a service of knowing that we can be a community in faith. And that will be for people to see, even outside of all of our walls. That's what being a Christian is all about. That's what keeping that Christ in our Christianity. In LCMC, we talked a lot about the fact that we are Lutheran, and we're darn proud of it. But you know what? Everybody's faith, everybody what it looks like, looks a little different now. And it looks a lot different, I guess, just simply because of the world we're living in. What seems so easy to do in a church service on a normal Sunday morning has become challenging, and we've had to rethink it. They laughed at me yesterday. I said, we've MacGyvered it. Apparently, I've made a new verb. But as we're serving you in this church, we do so with love and passion and trying to give you the best that we have, that God has given us. I was looking through the internet and doing some studies, and you know how can we show that Christ is in us as Christians without having to just spout Bible verses and prove it? Here are some thoughts that I found. Love those who are hard to love. Pastor Steve taught us that if you've been around for Pastor Steve, and that's a reminder. And maybe in today's world, we need to remember to love those that don't agree with us or love those who challenge us. That's how you can show that Christ is in you as a Christian. We can freely forgive. It's so easy to hold a grudge. It's so easy to say, I forgive you, but then go back later and go, do you remember when? But freely and truly forgive somebody and start to repair that relationship. That's what it means to keep Christ in your Christianity. We're taking that time to be zealous about each other is so important. I know we're starting a care team here, and it's a care team because we need to be caring for all of us, whether we're homebound, whether we're working, it doesn't matter. We all need care. Watch out for that because I know it's going to be an awesome, initiative coming out of this congregation. Another way to think about how do we keep that Christ in our Christianity is to not be hurried so much, to slow down and humble ourselves. Let us be at the bottom of that pile for a while. Let us give up that control. While I was thinking about this a lot, the one of my favorite movies, and wasn't a real hit at the box office, is called Facing the Giants, and it was put on by a small church out in the Midwest, and they paid for it. They were the actors in it, and it's all about how faith, how keeping Christ in your life. And one of the most vivid scenes for me is a man who would walk through the school. I know that can't happen now, but he would walk through the school and he would pray on each locker. Nobody saw him do it. Think about this. What if you got your church directory out? I don't care how old or new it is. And what about if each day you prayed for a page of those people? Not, you don't have to know their specific cares, but just pray for them and lift them up. That would be a way that we keep Christ in our Christianity. And facing our giants on a daily basis is so important. If Pastor Nate listens to this, he's going to laugh at me because I think he's learning I get something in my head and I don't let it go. I heard a song the other day, and after listening to Pastor Nate, it just really hit home that to be Christians, to drive out those demons, to give God that authority in our lives, we need to face our giants. And we don't have to be a pastor to do it. We can be somebody as simple as Moses in the wilderness. And there's a song that's out, it's a contemporary song called Confidence. And it says, I'm not a warrior. I'm not afraid to lose. I feel unqualified for what you're calling me to. But Lord, with your strength, I've got no excuse. Because broken people are exactly who you use. You know, you don't have to stand on a pulpit on a Sunday morning to show your faith. You can very easily drive up on Sunday morning and drop some canned goods off, or hop out of your car with your mask and your football jersey and take a selfie with some of the food and the people that'll be here to help. Showing our community and having zealousness and joy is one of the big first steps. So I hope this made sense to you. It made sense to me. But I hope from this you take that we need to focus on who we are as Christians. We need to put Christ first. And if we do so in simple ways, everybody around us will see it. I hope you're staying warm and safe. God bless. Bye bye.